Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today, we're talking about alternate win conditions. So last week, we talked about win conditions, and I thought, you know what would be fun? Let's go ahead and talk about some of the win conditions that you could have that are not creature-based. As players are beginning to dip their feet into different ways of winning the game, there will be some typical archetypes they encounter. They want to play some tribal decks like zombies and vampires and things like that, and that's fun. And I also like that, for the record. But then okay, I've done lots of creature stuff. What else can we do? Well, this is just a sampling of some of the other things you can do. So this is kind of for fun. So let me know if this is helpful at all. If not, by all means, let me know that as well. But in Historic, these are all alternate ways of winning the game. And we're going to start with the most frequently used one, Thassa's Oracle. 2 mana, 1/3. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put one of them on top of your library, the rest on the bottom in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So, since Thassa comes with her own 2 devotion, which is of course in the casting cost there, blue, that's 2 devotion. If you have no cards left in your library, so you are somehow able to get all of the cards from your library into your hand, Thassa's Oracle will win the game, right? Same way with Jace, Wheeler of Mysteries. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you would win the game instead. Normally, you lose the game when that's the case, right? So if that's... these see play quite a bit already. So this is the basic level. This is where you can go first. Find ways of emptying your library, win the game with Jace or Thassa's Oracle. Good times. However, we're about to start going a little deep. Oh, well, and then there is Approach the Second Sons as well. This sees quite a bit of play as well. If this spell was cast from your hand, and you've cast another spell named Approach the Second Son this game, you win the game. Otherwise, put Approach the Second Son in its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life. Counter all your stuff, kill all your things, wait around forever, kill all your stuff, counter all your things, wait forever. Cast Approach the Second Sons, gain 7 life. Wait around a little bit longer, cast it again, win the game. That's fine. There are some more cool things you can do with it, but it sees a lot of play. The rest of these don't see as much play. We did a budget deck with mazes, and this is kind of a cool finisher in that, should you come up with some mythic wildcards. Pay 3, return Maze's End. It is a land. Pay 3, return Maze's End to its owner's hand. Search your library for a gate, put it onto the battlefield, shuffle your library. If you control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the game. So you can win even in a budget deck, or relatively budget deck. This does add some mythics to requirements, with an alternate win condition. Kind of cool. Another one that we have actually built on the channel, Happily Ever After. When it enters, each player gains 5 life, draws a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 5 colors among permanents you control, and 6 or more card types among permanents you control and or cards in your graveyard, and your life total is greater than or equal to your starting life total, you win the game. Lots of stuff to line up there, folks, but let your imaginations run wild. We used Planewide Celebration. These two, pretty similar, all things considered. This one, 2 mana. You can pay 3 mana, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Whenever 1 or more counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy. Then, at the beginning of your upkeep, if Simic Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. All right. I'm sure you can come up with some ideas for that one. Darksteel Reactor, similar. 4 mana, indestructible. Very relevant. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on Darksteel Reactor. When Darksteel Reactor has 20 or more charge counters on it, you win the game. So this is the sort of thing you would normally like proliferate on or add counters to or something like that. You don't normally just wait 20 turns, but darn it, you could. And there is jank to be brewed here. The last couple of them are pretty fun. Revel in Riches, 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, create a treasure token. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. So yes, it doesn't say you have to get all those 10 treasures from Revel in Riches. You can get treasures from Treasure Map and from all kinds of treasure-producing creatures like Captain... whatever the captain is that does that stuff. Yeah, so definitely a fun one and a thing to be exploited. Also, Smothering Tithe, a great way to get treasure tokens. Leliana's Contract. When it enters, draw 4 cards, you lose 4 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. This one is a wild one, folks. And there is a card, Arcane Adaptation. As Arcane Adaptation enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control are of the chosen type, in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So if you choose Demon, you could have 4 demons of different names, and that is just one way among many for you to exploit your jank. And so these are some of the most basic alternate win conditions. I do want to go over 2 other cards that are kind of honorary in this category. Gideon of the Trials can 0, you get an emblem. As long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. So this doesn't win you the game, but it does say you can't lose it, in the same way that Platinum Angel says you can't lose the game, your opponents can't win the game. Now, yes, your opponents can get rid of your Gideons, and they can get rid of your Platinum Angel, and then they can win. But this does allow you to do some silly stuff like Glory Ascend, take an extra turn, but then you lose at the end of that turn. Oh, no. Well, if you can't lose, you can't lose. So it doesn't matter. Pact of Negation. 0 mana, counter target spell an opponent controls, but pay 5 mana at the beginning of your next turn, or you lose. So a free counter, but no, it costs 5. That's bad. I don't know. If you can't lose, just don't pay. You can't lose, right? So not exactly win conditions, but definitely some cool interactions you could do there. Let me know what your kinds of favorite alternate win conditions are, and you know how you might build some of those down in the comments below. Trying to have some growth in players and as deck builders and as all that kind of thing, just sparking some imagination. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. I appreciate it. I'll catch you next time.